It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the Elizabethton River Riders General Manager Brice Ballentine. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well yourself, Brandon.
Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to work in the professional sports?
Yeah, so it all kind of started back when I was in college. I played baseball growing up, and I played a little bit of baseball in college. Not well, by the way, but I ended up taking an internship with my hometown team. And what really actually sold me on this whole thing was I remember what exactly happened. So I was a promo intern where just, asking kids to do on-field contests and like getting things ready for giveaways, things like that, passing things out, really minimal stuff, but it was a lot of fun. And there was one day that this kid comes up and was like, "Hey, do you like video games?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, cool. Hey, you want to play this name this game contest? It's during like the third inning where we get to push on the dugout, and he got all excited, right? That's where the next day, his dad comes up to me and is like, "Hey, can I talk to you?" I'm like, and first of all, I'm like, "Great, what I do now?" I was in trouble for whatever reason, and he goes, "Hey, I want to talk to you because I want to thank you." I'm like, "For what?" And he's like, "You picked my son to do a contest, and he had never ever been chosen before. He had never enjoyed coming to games, but you made his experience, and now he actually wants to come back to games. So I really appreciate you. Like now he has fun at the games, and like, okay, cool. So that's when you kind of realize it made a difference. Like, oh, hey, this is kind of fun. It's about the experience. It's not about the players. It's about the experience." And to make someone's day and have them forget about their troubles for a few hours a day, that's what made me want to work in sports. That's like, hey, this is really fun. And that's how I kind of jump started into making it my career. And so that was kind of what kind of got me started with like, hey, working in sports at first. It's like, oh, this could be fun. And then just kind of fell in love with it.
That's amazing. What was your time like, and what did you accomplish with the Burlington baseball team?
So the Burlington Bees, when I was there, I was a promotions and operations intern. So over there, what we did a little bit of everything. I mean, kind of like the way it works in minor league sports is you might have a title, but really you become a jack of all trades. So I was an on-field host, and I was helping out with promotional items again, picking contestants and getting things ready for basically trying to enhance fan experience as much as possible. And so I thought we did really well with that. We did see an attendance bump from the year prior. On top of that, I did get my first taste of sales in there. We used to do community weekends, so they gave me A through K or whatever of business to try and call from the Chamber of Commerce. And we started calling and we were selling ticket packages for like a weekend sponsorship for the Burlington Bees. And we went out there and, outsold up to that point any intern class that was there. I mean, we worked diligently and we had a great time. And, it kind of reminded me of like, hey, again, that fan experience. We had 3 of those weekends we had to sell, and we did really well with it, selling fireworks shows and again bringing people out to enjoy a baseball game. So to see that bump in attendance and see that again a fan experience, we did really well over there. And I think overall that year was a very successful year. Off the field, on the field was kind of rough, but people had fun, and we saw more groups and more people attend games than we had in the past.
What was your time like with the Hickory Crawdads as a promotional manager?
So when we ended up after Burlington, I went back to school. I graduated in the fall and went over to the Hickory Crawdads. And working with the Hickory Crawdads, it was phenomenal. It was a great time. It was your first real taste of working a full season. I got there in January, and we started playing different theme nights and what we can do for jersey giveaways. What's going to be fun and exciting. It was actually a learning experience too, because the director of promotions was also new that year. So we just had all these ideas flowing. And so it was really great. And so we ended up, coming up with different ideas, and like people told us like, oh, bobbleheads don't work. We're like, oh no, bobbleheads work everywhere. Yeah, we were wrong. Bobbleheads don't work. And you learn a little bit. It didn't work in that market, but you learn a little bit like what does it does work, and you learn that like people want T-shirt giveaways, so we packed it, on the back end with T-shirt giveaways, and people were all excited, and overall, attendance went up. We had a great year. Promotions, we sold promotions. We had promotions every half inning, it seemed like, and we were running around like madmen. But it was just so much fun and coming up with different ideas. Ended up doing Forrest Gump night because it was the anniversary of Forrest Gump, and I had to run out of the ballpark like 4 times. I ended up cramping that day, but it was totally worth it. Fans loved it. We did a bunch of meet and greets. So overall, I mean, it was a great experience, and people seemed to love it. And that's why we kind of went forward with it. And I wouldn't trade that time for anything else in the world, because we had these we made some mistakes, but it was also we learned from the mistakes and we went forward, and it was great in that regard. And seeing the fans light up. We started a player partnership program where we encouraged in a way to adopt a player, quote unquote. I mean, they didn't stay at the house or anything like that, but they would do go bags and things like that for them for their long road trips, kind of make them feel like home away from home. If they want to get a home cooked meal, they had someone they could call and get a home cooked meal from. So we started that program too as a promotions team. So it was really great, and that's why I really enjoyed about it.
What was your time like with the Hagerstown Suns baseball?
Hagerstown was interesting. Hagerstown was, I took that job kind of on a whim. I wanted to be in the promotions and marketing, and then just didn't find one that I wanted, like a job that I didn't fit. And then on top of that, you find out real quick that you're not that creative working in promotions and marketing. So it was a way for me to transition into sales. And so I ended up going and becoming the ticket operations manager there. I was there for 2 years and really, dove into ticket sales and how the ticket programs work. So, while I was there, I did my due diligence. I worked hard, and I ended up increasing. I increased by our season ticket holders and mini plan holders by like 15% over my time there. And then we would see an increase in attendance both those years I was there. And you saw, I think, an increase in staff morale when it comes to my game day staff. So overall, it was great, and we were really excited about it. And so that's kind of where we were at with that. And obviously just wanting to see that team do well. But it was really my first experience of doing ticket promotions and also doing the selling up tickets, and also coming up with different ticket packages and working with people. It was a lot of fun.
How has your stops along your way got you to where you are now as the general manager of Elizabeth?
So it's really helped a lot because, going from everywhere, like I've been fortunate enough to work for teams that have money, teams that have no money, and teams in the middle. So coming up with different promotions and coming up with different like ticket packages, what's going to move the needle for each market, what's going to move the needle for each business. And that's what we kind of work on. That's what we love doing. So it kind of gave me a thing where, I did I did promotions. I understand the marketing aspect. I did sales. And then obviously, with working in small staffs, we all do operations. We all have to help clean the ballpark from time to time. We all have to help pull tarp. And so now basically this has just become kind of like my capstone where everything kind of comes together. And now I'm in charge of everything, doing a little sponsorship and doing ticket sales, doing everything here. It's been, been years in the making, and, it could be more excited, for what we did in 2019 here in Elizabethton, and, for the future here in Elizabethton, when I first started versus where we are now. I think, even with COVID, we're in a good spot now, and we have people excited about the River Riders, and got to go through a name change here. Like it's been exciting, and this is how it all kind of came together.
Can you talk about, of course, the process of going through a name change?
Yeah, so the name change, it was what we ended up happening was the way the athlete used to work. Obviously, we were affiliated with a specific team, and now we're affiliated with Major League Baseball. So the way it used to work out was that we would be the team name of the affiliate you were with. Well, obviously, you're not affiliated with anyone but Major League Baseball. We can't just be the Major League Baseballs, So we end up getting, for the first time, our own identities. And for me, that was something that was really unique and a great experience. So, when you kind of come up with a name, we work with Major League Baseball with it. And so they were the ones that were big helps with our branding and all of that. And then on top of that, we worked with people in the community. It was a great opportunity for us to say, hey, how do we be Elizabethton? How do we be Carter County, which is the county we play in? And how can we bring something together and bring the people from this area to have something to say, like, hey, that's our team. And that's where we came up with the River Riders, because we're unique. I mean, yes, there are other ballparks that have rivers that run right next to the ballpark, but we have one, the people hit the ball and it goes in the river, as a foul ball. But there's also constant fishing over there. There's people kayaking. There's people going whitewater rafting. We're actually bringing a whitewater rafting area to Elizabethton itself. So, it's a big outdoorsy place. And that's kind of how we came up with the name River Riders. And then you started to talk about color schemes and like, hey, what are we picturing here and there? And we also thought about, how can we tie in some of the old stuff, because obviously change is hard for people. It's just the way it is, but things are ever changing, and some people, I struggle with change too. Like it's been a little, it's been a little different going from affiliated ball to college wood bat, and you think like, hey, like there's things you got to flip, and like I was in Double A before this. Like there are things I thought about for Double A, and I'm like, oh, it doesn't work here because we don't have a pitch clock. We don't have this and that. So you got to change your mindset from time to time, and that's what we want to do. Is like, hey, how can we keep some of the old stuff? Like, so for example, our script, we do call ourselves E-Town a lot, right? And the reason is because people struggle with Elizabethton, but everywhere except for in Elizabethton, but you go outside of Elizabethton, like we were up in Minnesota, and they always refer to us as E-Town. I call people in the industry like, oh yeah, hey, it's Brice with E-Town. So that's where we kind of get that E-Town name, and people know it as E-Town. And so that's why we end up going with that. So it's been fun, and we want to do something that's going to make the people here proud. And so far, I've heard nothing but positive reviews.
What was it like on game day? What are game days like?
What are game days? So game days are awesome here. Game days are phenomenal. We have an amazing fan base. I think everyone says they have the best fans in the country, but I put my fans up against anyone else's fans. I have never been to a place where the guys back, our fans back our guys so much. They do everything. I mean, they come out ready to party in a way, with their cowbells, and they're always there chanting on the they would say go Twins. Now obviously switching to River Riders. I have people calling, like a lot of people, like daily. I have people come in this office like, hey, I want to buy merch. Hey, I want to get a ticket back. Like it's been great. Like the response has been great. Like we have a very loyal fan base, and it's phenomenal. And so we want to give back to them as much as possible. And game days are a party. We people are there for the baseball, which is great. We want there to be, we supplement baseball also with, on-field contests. People love seeing the games. People love seeing, the bobblehead giveaways, and people want to get hot dogs, and we'll do hot dog tosses sometimes. Like we do different quirky things we can do with the t-shirt tosses and everything. So it's an experience. We're seeing a lot more families come out too. And so it's getting to be, a fun night out, and I love it. And that's what we're going towards. And it's getting to that point where, we're consistently seeing bigger and bigger crowds.
Can you talk about, of course, on game day, what kind of stuff happens on game day?
Oh yeah. So I mean, obviously, aside from the baseball game, we run with, obviously we're 9-inning games, so we end up running basically a promotion at the end of every inning up until the 8th inning, because you don't know what's going to happen in the 9th. You have your team's winning, you can't do anything but something at the end of the 9th. But we'll do on-field contests. So gates open an hour before, and then we end up on like a Saturday we do giveaways, or we're there. I'm there greeting fans, talking to fans, and they come in, get hot dogs, they go to the speed pitch, they get their refreshments, and then during the game we do on-field contests. So, and we switch it up on purpose. We want to keep everything fresh as possible. So we do, some days we'll do what we call knocker balls, where you got two people in these giant inflatable ball things, they got to run into each other. Then last one standing is the winner. We do dizzy bat contests. We'll do a 3-legged race. So we do things like that to be kind of quirky, have a little fun. And then we do our tosses. We do our t-shirt tosses. We'll do a hot dog toss here and there. Any way we can kind of engage the fans, we'll do. And then obviously we're playing the music, and like when we when we believe that the umpire makes a bad call, which is every time it goes against us, we'll play like three blind mice, or we want to make it a fun atmosphere, and that's what kind of goes into it. It's fun. We want people to come here, have a good time, and not worry about what's going on in their life for 3 hours. And that's what game day is all about. And on top of that, part of my role is I go around talking to fans.
What are some of your? Go on.
Yeah, so I go around talking to fans and just saying, "Hey, how's it going?" And we encourage that. We want our fans to feel like they're an extension of the front office in a way.
What are some of your game day traditions?
So traditionally, what you'll see is the cowbell is the big one here. I think we're gonna bring a couple more a new tradition. We started actually in 2019. I think we're gonna continue it. I think we actually might move it though. We used to start the game where the pitcher was it was a song called "I Believe That We Will Win." I think we're gonna move that though to the when we're to the bottom of the ninth is gonna be our song. So that's gonna be our new song for that. Traditionally, we do fireworks on Fridays, and another tradition we want to keep up doing is we weren't able to do it, but there's a salute to Cowtown, and we're looking to try and bring that back. Where do something with either there's a specialty jersey wearing a cow jersey, or do something. We used to be a cow milking contest was a once a year thing we would do, and that's something we want to kind of bring back. And we want to start some new traditions, but we also want to keep some of the old traditions going, and hopefully we win some championships too.
What are some of your future plans with Elizabeth?
So some of our future plans. You talking as far as like the ballpark, or as far as like promotions?
Promotions and the ballpark.
Okay, so what we're looking to do with the ballpark is eventually to do a renovation to it. I can't really speak too much on it because we're still in the planning phase of it. But eventually, we'd like to see happen is upgrade the seating and the netting and the playing surface. Those talks are starting. We're just trying to figure out when that's going to happen. As far as promotions goes, what we're really excited about, what we want to do, and we want to see happen is we're going to see more bobbleheads. We're going to see firework shows, more giveaways. We want to see just enhancing that fan experience, and so that's what we're kind of looking for. And we'll find some traditions that come with it. Like there are certain things that, like, I know that we're gonna bring back one of the fan favorites is it's called chicken flicking, and all we're doing is we're literally just chucking rubber chickens and trying to catch it. And but people love it. People go crazy for it, and so that's what we're gonna bring back. And that's what we look to do. I look forward to doing that again. I look forward to doing a meet the team party. So the day before the season starts, we're gonna have an open practice. And we're going to invite, basically the entire town to come out and watch practice, and we're going to have them, kind of be able to meet the players, things like that. Obviously, we'll do what we can as far as capacities go, but everyone's invited. It's open. We want people to come out, check out the ballpark, see some of our improvements we've done, and see some of the new merchandise and see the new logos everywhere. So it's an exciting time. That's what I'm really excited for here at the ballpark for the promotions wise, and I think you're going to see some big things happen here.
What advice would you give upcoming future general managers looking to get into baseball?
Well, I give people what they want to do as far as to get into baseball is you have an internship. I'd start with a general internship, kind of figure out what you like. We get a little bit of taste of everything. Figure out what you like to do, and then go into that side of things. So if you want to do ticket sales, go sales. It's like if you like sales people usually move up faster than what operations people do, but they both give you the same goal. So I would say just figure out what your passion is and go after it. And then don't worry about worry about the money, but don't worry about the money, because the money will come. It's one of those things where, like anything in the sports industry, you got to pay your dues first, and then once you get there, and it's good, and you got to love what you do. If you don't enjoy what you do, then you should get out. It's one of those things where I come to work every day and I love it because I come to a ballpark every day. My worst day is when I got to pull tarp, and it's not even that bad. It's not that big of a deal to pull tarp. So if you don't love what you do, then you need to find something else. And that's why I always tell people, like, I will get out of baseball, get out of sports when it becomes a job. And so far it hasn't become a job, and I have a passion for it, and I have and that's, you got to have a passion for people and a passion for this industry.
That's amazing. Where can my listeners find you at on social media, along with Elizabeth River Riders at?
So we're on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, and so is the River Riders. You can just look at my name on Facebook or on LinkedIn and Twitter. If you type in my name, you should find me. And then on top of that, if for the River Riders, it's for Instagram and for Twitter, it's ELZ River Riders is our at, and then for Facebook, it's Elizabethton River Riders.
Thank you again, Brice, for your interview, and best of luck in your future as a general manager in this upcoming year.
All right, thanks, Brandon.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Brice, for your interview, and best of luck.
Thanks, Brandon.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.